Well, first of all, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad was because I knew this time was coming. And we have, as a world, have never been here before. And so is it a spooky time? Damn yeah. It is probably the most dangerous time ever. There's nothing to compare it to because there's never been a world economy before. For example, 100 years ago, if there was a stock market crash in England, it didn't affect anybody. Now the US goes down, the world goes down. So plus with social media and all this we're doing now, and so we've never been here before. And I'm excited about it because I make more money in crashes than I do when they go up. So, but for the average person, they'll get wiped out. I'm afraid at the worst, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression.
Global depression?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Depression. I mean, people are depressed. The economy stays down. It's hard to come back up. And now the good news is that for those who are prepared for it, like you and things like this, you'll do better. See, not everybody dies in a plane crash. Some plane crashes. But the last crash in 2008, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program 6 months before Lehman Brothers went down. And I said Lehman was going down. And nobody listened, but it went down. And so I've been expecting this market to go down for quite a while. And I'm concerned about my fellow human beings. But as you know, most Americans are clueless. They don't know what's going on. But if you travel the world, I just got back from Africa and China and Japan and New Zealand. People are scared. Australia, which hasn't had a recession in 30 years, is in recession. But Americans are fat, dumb, and happy, having a good time, which is good. But I'm concerned. That's all I can say. I'd be afraid if I had kids. I think as an adult you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry, and that's what's going to happen. And the U.S. dollar is fake. Never in the history of the world has any fake money ever survived. We just keep printing this money. And when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad almost 25 years ago, people said I didn't know what I was talking about. I said savers would be losers. Now, today there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money, and people are still saving money. Are you nuts? They just printed, I think, $500 billion in September of this year because the repo market is going down. And the average guy goes, well, what's the repo market? They don't know. So that's why it's fake money. We all use money, but we don't teach people about it. So that's why I'm concerned. And I wrote this book, Who Stole My Pension? It's already sold out. But I wrote Who Stole My Pension because we both had dads who lost everything. And when I was in my 20s and my poor dad lost everything, it scarred me. And I said, I'm never going to let anybody ever do that to me. So I had just come back from Vietnam in '73. My dad was unemployed, and he tells me to go fly for the effing airlines. I said, are you kidding me? And he says, go back to school, get your master's and get your PhD. I said, are you kidding me? Here the guy is unemployed. He's got no pension, he's got no paycheck, and he's telling me to go back to school. I said, what, learn nothing? And those guys who, my friends who flew for United Airlines, they're broke today. Their pensions were stolen. And Americans, I wonder how my 401k is doing. I'm going, gee, I'd be a little bit worried, but they don't know. Americans live in a fishbowl. Everybody sees in, but Americans can't see out. So I travel the world constantly. And what I see going on in the world is disturbing. I was just in Argentina, and I took my kid brother there, and he came back a changed man. He says, you weren't kidding, were you? I said, no, I wasn't. My brother could not believe that what happens in Argentina is going to happen here. So the fear today, I think people are a little bit wiser, is because they do remember 2008, and they do remember 2000. So I think most people are at least kind of tuned in. I hope it doesn't come down, but I'm afraid it will. I want to say what you did was really, really smart, because the best time to start a business is right after a crash. I made more money after 2008 than ever in my whole entire life.
Wow, you made more money after 2008 than your entire life.
Yeah, so when, here I'm talking about the coming depression, everybody says, oh, you're such a pessimist, I go, no, I'm excited. I get sexually stimulated thinking about all the bargains that are going to be on the street. I mean, it's going to be bargains everywhere. But everybody else, oh, you're pessimistic. No, I'm actually optimistic. I study business. Guys who start right after a crash do very well most of the time. 2008 was Wall Street.
Toxic assets. Toxic
MBSs.
Yes.
Derivatives. And so what is it today? Wall Street just looted the pensions. So this book, Who Stole My Pension, it's like I said, my co-author is an SEC attorney. And he got sick and tired of seeing all these bankers loot the pensions and get paid bonuses. And then the labor union guys who manage the funds get paid bonuses. And the guys who manage it get paid bonus. Meanwhile, the workers get screwed. So when this next crash comes, it's going to be horrible. My father ran for political office against the governor of Hawaii, and he got crushed. And the governor says, you're no job, no paycheck, no pension. So my old man's broke. So it kind of put us on edge. You know what I mean? I don't trust my government. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I like Trump, but they can't save me. Trump, Biden, Sanders. I mean, it's a cast of characters, right? You got the Donald on one side, and then you got Comrade Sanders. It's a reality TV show up there. You want to make sure that no matter who's in office or if it crashes, you're okay. That's the most important thing you can do.
You don't pivot based on presidents?
No, of course not. They don't affect me at all.
You don't pivot based on presidents?
No, I'm not a stock guy, that's why.
Okay.
So I'm a real estate guy. I own businesses. So the Rich Dad Company does better in a crash. And apartment houses, they always do well because people have to have someplace to live. And I want oil wells because people are always burning oil. I always protect my assets that they're crash proof.
So let me ask you, the average person's watching this right now saying, okay, Robert, I'm not like you. I don't run a company. You're telling me the market's going to go in shambles here pretty soon because of currency, and we printed $500 billion of money in September just in 1 month, not including the $3 trillion we printed in the last 7 years prior to that. What do I do to be prepared for a time like this?
Well, first of all, everybody can do something, but they won't. And that's the problem. So there's something rotten inside America. And I think the problem with many Americans is they're complacent. So the thing that everybody can do is, my first investment was a gold coin in Hong Kong. I bought a Krugerrand. I was flying off an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. And I went to Hong Kong and I bought a gold Krugerrand. The date was 1972. But that gold coin today is worth almost $2,000.
The one gold coin?
Yeah, and I still have it.
What'd you pay for it?
$50.
$50 to $2,000. 1972?
Yeah, it just sat there. So I have and so I never, because I understand money, that quantitative counterfeiting and zero interest rates, I don't trust the dollar. So for most of my life, I've saved gold and silver. So I have millions in gold coins and silver coins. I just kept saving it because I don't trust the dollar. So everybody can buy a silver coin today for $20. A silver eagle is $20. But how many people will go to a coin shop and buy it? Probably none. Less than 0.1% of Americans own precious metals. And silver today is 50% below its all-time high. So silver is the biggest bargain sitting in the market as we speak today. It's about $20. It should go to 50. So at $20, and I tell my friends, I go, think about it. That's the problem. So everybody can afford $20. Kids can afford $20. The thing is, people won't do it. Most people are pretty sedentary. They want to do the same old thing.
Sure.
I'm happy. Nothing's going to happen.
What was the stat you said about?
Okay, in 10 years, 2030, 2 billion baby boomers across the world will retire. Japan's broke. Argentina's broke. China's broke. Italy's broke. Germany's broke. See, they watch the stock market. They don't watch the debt. And the repo market, the repurchase market, is one of the biggest markets in the world. The Fed is bailing that one out now. So the average American is watching the stock market, but not what's really going on. So that's why I wrote Who Stole My Pension? So I don't trust the dollar.
Anytime Buffett says, I remember when Buffett says, I'm buying, he bought $35 million of silver. I don't know if you remember that when he bought it. You're like, okay, be prepared because something's about to happen.
Yeah.
Right? If he buys gold, just be ready in the next 6, 12, 24 months. He's anticipating some kind of crash to be taking place. He's right now in cash because
That's
he's
smart.
Yeah, he's anticipating something to happen
Yeah.
to buy up businesses and rebuild them. He does that all the time.
And then he's going to go in after the crash.
He's going to go after the crash.